how are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ruth and today I am doing my update to Pango. This is one that me and Kim from Teacher Loves Beauty are doing, and it was created by Dana, Eyeshadow Junkie at Heart over on Instagram, and Jessica Lee. And the goal of it is you randomly select, you kind of make up a palette, or you pick a palette that can make up a bingo board for you, and you randomly pick a line to work on. So the line, what did we get? I can't remember. It's this line here anyway, that I'm working on at the moment. So what would that be? B-I-N. N across. Wow, Ruth. Okay. Can you tell I don't play bingo a lot? So when we do these videos, we like to give you an update on how we're getting on with it, but also do a kind of chatty get ready with me. And the last few times we kind of just posted questions for each other to answer, but the last one we asked for you to ask us questions. So I have some of the questions here, and I'm going to do a look with these while I'm doing it. I think I'm going to focus in kind of on the purple and pink this time. I went that side the last time. I'm going to go this side this time because I need to work more on my purples. I have my purples from my 50 Shades of Purple shades here as well that I want to try and work into the look. But yeah, how am I getting on at the moment? So going across, so P, so we have kind of said either hit pan or maybe 20 usage, whichever comes first, because both myself and Kim like to join everything. We just do. It's great fun. We love joining everything. I think I have about 30 million eyeshadows in projects. I think she's about 29.5 million. Not quite sure. You'll need to check again. But anyway, so P, I've only 2 uses. A, I have 6 uses. N is the most because it's a cream, and I have 15 uses on that one, so that's close to 20, but nowhere near Panda's barely. You dip in it, and I use it all over the eye. G has 3 uses, and then O has 7 uses. So that's where we're at the moment. So let's get into it. So a couple of people actually had asked, my name is Mommy, asked for a word in Irish kind of the day kind of thing. Jessica Lee asked for slang, Irish kind of slang, and Tara Elizabeth asked if I could do a video fully in Irish and then do the same in English. I would love to do that, only unfortunately I am not that fluent in Irish, which is very sad. It would be it would be an embarrassment, actually, is what it would be. But let me tell you, there's a girl, she's Breakfast and Fallout is her name on YouTube. This girl, she does 3 videos for each video. 1 in English, 1 in Russian, and 1 in Italian. To say I'm envious, to be fluent in 3 different languages and be able to put up videos of them is just awesome to me. Awesome. God, if I could talk to my younger self and say, Ruth, pay more heed when you're in school to your languages. You'll appreciate it more when you're older, but when you're young, what do you know? So I did kind of make up a little list of slang that could also double up, you know, because some of them are Irish words predominantly, and some of them are maybe have a basis in Irish maybe. So I'll just go through a few of them while I'm doing my eyeshadow. So let me start off now by just giving a little dab to the eyes. Call Me Addie, you know, the channel that I love to watch. She had mentioned to me that her husband suffers with really dry eyes as well, and that's what causes the tearing, but the eye isn't actually getting lubrication, and to use eye drops. And I used it when I had bells. I had, you know, the proper high dose lubricant eye drops, and then once my bells kind of eased off, I stopped using them, not really putting 2 and 2 together. So I've started using them again, and they're definitely helping. They haven't got rid of it fully, but they've definitely helped. So thank you very much for that, Addie. I really appreciate it. So I'm going to start off. I'm going into the cream shade first. I'm just putting that all over the lid. I hope now you'll be able to see me. Yeah, you will. I want to make sure I'm not obscuring the camera with my brush. So the first one I have down there is Acting the Maggot. So if you are acting the maggot, you're being a bit bold, you're messing around. Typically you would probably use it with young fellas, which are teenage boys or that, or younger. But yeah, so they'd be calf-acting or acting the maggot would be you know, they're just being boisterous and being bold and being, but not not being criminal or, you know what I mean, things like that. It's just being bold, do you know? We say bold a lot as well. If somebody's being bold, they're being bold. So yeah, that'd be one. So acting the maggot would be one. Very timely because of, you know, pandemic times. If you are very sick or you've had a bad night out, shall we say you'd had a bad dose, choose an awful bad dose. And that means that you're quite sick, whether it be because of the drink that you drank the night before, or because you have a flu or something like that. So like that, Jesus, I had the coronavirus, it was an awful bad dose. That's, and like, talk about downplaying, and that's another thing we're terror for. You know, if somebody is a raging alcoholic, why is a demon for the drink? No. That makes it sound like, you know, little rascal. No. Yeah, we tend to downplay things a little bit here with our terminology. So, bags. So, you know, I think, well, sure, isn't that just shopping bags or something, Ruth? No, it's not. So if you make a right, like if I made a right mess of this look, I'd have made a right bags of it all together. I don't know where it comes from. But it's something that we all say. It's like, oh geez, I made an awful bags of it. Like if you said about an exam, or, you know, a jumping course and horse riding or something like that, and you went the wrong way or something, like, geez, I made an awful bags of it. I don't know, guys, I don't know why, but we just have words for everything that just doesn't make any sense at all. Banjaxed as well is another great one. If something is broken, or, you know, the car's banjaxed, I need to get a clutch for it, or the chair's banjaxed, the leg has fallen off it, you know what I mean, something is banjaxed, it's broken. Or my back is banjaxed. It means just my back is gone, it is banjaxed. Oh God. I mean, these are all, I suppose, words. Like, because when I was thinking about this first, I was like, God, we don't have much slang. All we do is speak in slang. I mean, God, I can understand why sometimes people come over and they go, I have no idea what that person just said. Was that English? It didn't sound like English. Oh dear. What else have we got? Tis bucketing down. So if it's bucketing down, it means it's raining. So tis bucketing down would be another good one. So one that's in Irish as well is Ciotog. So anyone in Ireland who's left-handed would automatically be called a Ciotog. And God bless them. I mean, I know it happened in other countries too, but I know in our schools back in the day, the priests and the nuns, they would have said that being a Ciotog, was it that it was evil, or it was a trait of the devil, or some bullshit like that, complete and utter horseshit. And they'd actually beat it out of you. They'd beat your hand anytime you tried to write with your left and force you to write with your right. I remember I used to work with a lad, and his writing, God love him, was abysmal. And the reason is that he had been a Ciotog, and they had literally beaten him out of it, and he only wrote with his right hand, and his writing was appalling. I just thought, you know, we wouldn't probably be as educated as we are if it wasn't for the nuns and the priests, but by Jesus did they do damage as well. One I'm sure you've heard me say a load of times, and you've heard a lot of Irish people say, is crack. And it has nothing to do with the drug whatsoever, although I suppose you'd be having mighty crack if you were on crack. But yeah, the crack is mighty. We're having mighty crack. It was fierce crack altogether. I mean, anytime you're having any bit of fun in Ireland, oh, it was great crack. We had great crack altogether. The crack was mighty. You know what I mean? It's used it, but like everyone, I would say that. Culchie is another one. A Culchie is somebody who lives in the country. But then it depends on where you're from. If you live in Dublin, everyone outside Dublin is a Culchie. Everyone, right? But like if you live in Galway City or Limerick City or any of the other cities, they will consider anyone from the countryside a Culchie. So it depends where you're from. Dubs consider everyone outside Dublin to be Culchies. A cute Hoor. And it's not, again, I mean, it's spelled H-O-O-R. It's not even spelled the same way. Jeez, he was an awful cute Hoor. Like, I mean, he was as cute as a fox, or, you know what I mean? So if you did something kind of a bit slyly or a bit cleverly or a bit, you know, oh, he's a fierce cute Hoor, that when you want to watch him, you know, things like that. Yeah. I think I'll leave it at that, because I'm going. Eejit, obviously Eejit is a very popular one here as well. And Feck Off, you've heard me saying that so many times. I mean, that's something you can say in front of your mother and she won't bait the ear off you, like, bait. Yeah, it doesn't look like she bait the ear off you. Okay, we're done. That's all we're doing on this slang. If you want more slang, let me know and I'll do more the next time. But yeah, I just thought. Right, let's get on. Let's do something else. See, this is the problem when I'm doing these chatty with me's, get readies with me. I just off on a tangent and nothing gets done. What will we do next? I think we might put a little bit of deep purple out in the corner just to give a bit of depth to this look. I think I'll go with something kind of dense like this. So Danny from Danny Loves Makeup has asked me, how did me and my hubby meet? So I had mentioned it before in a collab I did with Jen, but I met Pete. I went to the island of Kos, which is a Greek island. I went there for 6 months when I was 22. Went on my own, took off, decided I'd had enough of where I was living and all the drama that was going on, and thought, right, I'm off, I'm out of here, and went off to Kos for 6 months. I am from Limerick City, well, Limerick County, city border kind of. I live in Galway now, but I'm from Limerick originally. So I went off out to Kos and was working in a bar. And while I was there, 2 lads that I used to go to college with in Ireland, in Limerick, arrived in. They were on their holidays, like, oh my god guys, it's great to see you, hugs, all the thing. And this third lad came in and like, I don't know you, you're not getting a hug off me, who are you, where'd you come out of, how do you know these boys, you know? I was very like, who are you? And that person happened to be Pete, and he was there for 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks or a week? Maybe it was a week. And they were just on the Holliers, and we just kind of clicked. Turned out he was from Limerick as well. Turned out he went to the same college as I did. That's how I knew the 2 boys, because I knew them from college. Turned out he was in the same class as my ex for years, so they knew each other and would have known each other out and about. We went out to the same pubs, we went to the same places. As children, we holidayed in the same places. And we never once met. Not once. Which I think is just the most bizarre thing ever, and just really kind of made me think, well, this is kind of meant to be, is it not? Like, how weird is that, you know, that we just met each other at the right time in our lives, and we had so many opportunities. He lives his home house and my home house were 5 minutes drive from each other. 5 minutes. Never met. And it was just one of those things, we just clicked and things escalated very quickly. We had moved in together by the time we were 6 months together. We were engaged after a year, and it just went from there basically. So yeah, it was kind of fate. Went all the way to Greece to meet a boy that lives 5 minutes away from me. There you go. That's the story of me and Pete. Cece has asked, and Cece, I know, I can feel it in my heart. Any day now, Cece's going to record a video for us. I know she is. I know you are, Cece. But Cece has asked me, what is it like living in Ireland, and what does Scamps look like, and what breed is he? So I'll try and put up a picture of Scamps. He is my dog, my baby, my fur baby, and he is, I'm using the purple by the way, I'm not even telling you what I'm doing. Wow, bad YouTuber. Scamps is my doggy, my little baby, and he is a mutt. The only way to describe him. He's a rescue. He's a mutt. I would say predominantly he's definitely a terrier. We reckon fox terrier mainly, but there's something else thrown in there, you know. And I always think mutts are just fantastic because they're hardy. Like, he is going on 13 now, and we had one little scare with him with his liver, but that seems to have completely righted himself. He was with the vet only 2 weeks ago, and she said he was looking mighty, and he was really healthy looking. So we were delighted with that. And you always, I don't know about you, but I always feel really proud if your dog is doing really well. I'm like, oh, I'm a good mom. That's the pink I'm using now in the inner corner. So yeah, he's doing really well, which I'm delighted with, because I adore him. He just makes us laugh every single day. Now, he's not the most cuddly of dogs. He wouldn't sit up in your lap. He's not a lap dog at all. He's a very independent dog. But like in the morning, so Pete goes off out to work, he'll come up to me, he'll finish my porridge, and then he'll curl up next to me in the bed, and the two of us will conk back out for an hour or two. And he just snores away lovely beside me, and it just lulls me back to sleep, so it does. So yeah, we have our little routine going on, and it just brings us so much joy. He's just a gorgeous, gorgeous dog. I love him to bits. What's it like living in Ireland? I love living here. I won't lie, I do enjoy Ireland. There are times where I would love to move to kind of the Brittany area of France. That would be lovely. We're not, how do I say this? We're not a great nation for outdoor activities or embracing the outdoors as much as we should, or I don't know. To be fair, look it's Ireland. There's a reason we are called the Emerald Isle, because it is green here and it is lush. And what makes that happen? Rain. So it rains here, I would say 75% of the time, maybe 70. It might have been a bit extreme. Like, it's raining today, it rained yesterday, it rained today. You know what I mean? I have noticed in recent years though, and if anyone tells me that there's no such thing as climate change, I beg to differ, because our summers have been getting way warmer. If you watched me last year, you heard me complain a lot about it. Way warmer and way more way drier in that in the summers, which has been quite unusual. Even up to now, I have the window open today. We're in February. And I have the window open because I'm roasted. Yeah, could be because I'm perimenopausal. That's very possible. But yeah, it's anyway, that's the weather is a big thing in Ireland. If you because we're Irish as well, if you're away on holidays, the first thing you do when you ring home to Mum or Dad and you say, "Ma'am, you know, what's the weather like?" And you'll be like, "Oh, it's lovely, it's sunny, it's this, that, that. What's the weather like at home?" They go, "It's raining." You're going, "Yes." Because there's nothing worse in this country than going on your 2 weeks holidays and it's glorious here. You feel hard done by. You feel like, I'm after going out foreign to get a bit of sun. And you're telling me you had sun at home? No, I want to know that it was raining. Even if it was splitting the rocks, tell me it was raining. Weather's very important to us. But like, I think look, at all nations at the moment are finding it hard. You know, there's a lot of crap going on in the world, and you know, politicians are politicians no matter where you go. I'd like to say ours aren't doing bad by us, but I can't say that that's categorically the case at the moment. But all parties seem to be more or less the same, you know, so it's very hard to, I find I just kind of vote with my local representative that actually does something for the community. That's where my vote goes now. And the economy obviously is taking a dive because we are predominantly a tourist nation. You know what I mean? We depend on a lot of tourists coming to Ireland. And obviously with the pandemic the last 2 years, that has been cut in half. So the hospitality community has been very hard hit. But we have beautiful scenery, beautiful countryside, beautiful seascapes, beautiful people. I do think, you know, we as a nation predominantly we tend to be quite friendly. Maybe as years have gone by we've got a little bit kind of more standoffish, you know. Well, I have, I suppose. Not everyone else. But yeah, I love living in Ireland. I feel like we're a well-educated nation as well. I feel we're not too insular. Maybe it's because we're on the outskirts of Europe, but we don't get embroiled in too much conflict, basically, apart from with England years ago. But we tend to, our education system is quite good and seems to stand to us in kind of, you know, international markets and things like that. Does that tell you what it's like to live in Ireland? I don't know. I've never known anything else, I suppose, so, you know. Don't know if any of that makes sense. But yeah. Makeup with Lainey, my darling Lainey, has asked me, oh, my screen has gone dead. What did you ask me, Lainey? I was laughing at this, I was like, I don't know that I have anything to tell you. A fun fact about you that we might not guess from watching you. fun fact about me. I'm struggling, I'm not gonna lie. Don't know if it's a fun fact or not, but it's a fact in that I struggled today to come up and do this video because the Winter Olympics are on, and I love Olympics, winter and summer. I think it was, what have been about 9, so I suppose Seoul 88 was my first experience of watching Olympics. And I remember in the mornings when I'd be getting ready for school and I'd be sitting down eating my breakfast in the sitting room, and I'd turn on the telly and the Olympics would be on because obviously the time difference, and I was fascinated. I was fascinated by all these other sports I'd never even heard of. I mean, in Ireland we have hurling is one of our major sports. Gaelic football is another one. We obviously follow regular football, as in English soccer, because it's quite close to us, and we've a, you know, we've an international team and stuff like that. And a lot of Irish players have played in the UK. Rugby, we love rugby in Ireland, and again, I'm a Limerick girl, so I'm a Munster girl, and we've had a great Munster team. It's kind of not been so great in recent years. The corner of this just is not sticking down. My eye is watering too much. So rugby, but like all these other sports I'd never even heard of, don't mind seeing in action. Oh, I was just absolutely obsessed from that age onwards, and ever since I am just mad into the Olympics. I'm loving how the Winter Olympics has evolved as well. All these new sports, the new snowboarding sports and the ski slopes, and it's just brilliant. I just love it. But like when I was supposed to come up to this video, curling, I couldn't go away. And like, it's the slowest, you would think, most boring sport, but I just get sucked in, and I'm just like, just one more round, and then I'll go up and do my video. I know. Fucking curling. And I keep saying to myself afterwards, so like ice hockey, like, because I just think it's so fast and so cool, and it's kind of like, if any of you have ever seen a hurling match, or if you want to look up a hurling match, I mean, to say it's fast and ferocious is saying something. And hockey, you know, would be on that level, and or ice hockey I should say. And I always say to myself, I'm going to start following the ice hockey league in America and Canada and places like that, and sure, I never do. And it's the same with like basketball and stuff like that with the Summer Olympics. I always say to myself, I'm going to start watching the NBA and stuff like that, but sure, look, I have so much other stuff to be watching, mainly YouTube stuff. I just don't get around to it. I do follow myself, my hobby is a Liverpool supporter. So, you know, part of the agreement with the marriage was that I would become a Liverpool supporter, for good and for bad. Luckily in recent years it's been quite good, which has been fantastic. So yeah, I'm a Liverpool supporter with my hobby. But yeah, so I don't know if that's a fun fact or not, but I do love sport, and I do love I love watching the Olympics. And like sports that I played, so I've played hurling, I've played Gaelic football, I've played badminton, basketball, netball, hockey, football, as in soccer. I used to do cross country horse riding until my back completely fucking went. Loved that. And what else have I done? Used to do a bit of cross country running. Didn't really like it. I did the high jump as well. I was just like, anything at all to keep me busy. I wasn't one for wanting to go home after school. I wanted to do more and do kind of any sports that was on after school. Ruth kind of stuck her hand to it. I was in the choir in school. I was a choir girl. We had great crack with the choir in our school. My school, probably one of the roughest in Limerick, I would say. And me coming from the outskirts of the city, maybe was a bit naive going when I started school first. And but I quickly found that to make friends with everybody basically, and you know, whether they be the tougher girls in school or not, was to join sports, because everyone did sports and everyone kind of got on with someone who did sports, and that was kind of the way I kind of navigated secondary school. We call it secondary school, so it would be first year to sixth year, and first year you'd be maybe 13ish, that kind of age, and then about 17, 18 in 6th year, and your main exams then were in 3rd year. You had junior cert, and then in 6th year you have leaving cert, which is your big exam. So yeah, that's kind of how I navigated being in a very rough inner city school, was just kind of trying to make friends with as much people as I can, and kind of, you know, doing sports and stuff like that. Yeah. I think that's nearly it. Caroline, and I'll have Caroline's Instagram below. Caroline is gorgeous, I love her. Favourite formula, brand, etc., and more backstory on makeup. Actually, I'm going to pause for a minute because my battery's going to die. Just one moment, please. And I'm back. I've just put on a little bit of eyeliner while I was off camera there for a minute. Where did I put it? It's this one from LA Girl, Perfect Precision. It's a purple eyeliner. I put it on the lower and kind of waterline, because I know that's not exactly an attractive look. So just, I don't know if I've even showed, oh god, I'm so bad. I put in this purple, and then I buffed out with this kind of lighter purple up here, just on the edges. I'm going to put in a little bit in the inner corner. This is in my 50 Shades of Purple as well. Just, it's a lovely iridescent purple. It's just so pretty, if you can see it there. It just has this lovely duochrome, pinky purpley duochrome that I love. I'm just going to pop that on the inner corner. But I was saying that Caroline was asking me about my makeup. So I had mentioned before about the Naked palette kind of bringing me back into the world of makeup. But like, I wasn't, I'd say from the age of what, 15, 16, I started wearing makeup, and it was predominantly things like Max Factor Pan Stick, and do you remember like the Cream Puff powder? I think they still have all of these. Rimmel Heather Shimmer, a lip liner, kind of a rose coloured lip liner that I had from the Body Shop that I absolutely loved. I went through so many of them. And then like into the late 90s, early 90s, you know, I was big into like glitter and shimmer, kind of body glitter and shimmer and stuff like that, because I used to love to go clubbing and stuff. So it'd be kind of a rave kind of type situation. So, you know, you got really done up with the body glitter and stuff like that. So we used to have fun with that stuff and kind of put in our hair and that. But like, it was more functional makeup, if that makes sense, and less fun makeup, in that it was just like, you know, cover up the spots or stuff like that, or the things that you thought you had wrong with you when you were younger, and now looking back you go, you idiot, you were gorgeous, you wish you looked like that now. So yeah, stuff like that. But it wasn't until the YouTube kind of and the Naked palette that I really started playing and you know, delving more into it. I used to always have I did like to have coloured eyeliners, so maybe never coloured eyeshadow, but like a deep green or a deep navy or a deep purple would have been in my arsenal prior to YouTube. But it really was just, you know, basic makeup, nothing fancy or fun, or there was no contouring, there was no highlighter, it was bronzer, blush, you know, that was the extent of that kind of stuff. The most basic eyeshadow palettes, cheap ones that just, you know, weren't exactly doing anyone any favours. So yeah, and then favourite formula, brand, etc. I find it very hard to say that I love a certain formula. I don't know. I like Anastasia Beverly Hills. I don't love it enough to pay full whack for it. I like Be Perfect, but I don't know, is it that I love their formula or I just love their colour and vibrancy and stuff like that. So they would be up there though. I have quite a few palettes from them now and I do quite enjoy them. So yeah, I think eyeshadow wise maybe Be Perfect at the moment would be the one of what I've tried. And BH Cosmetics actually as well. I really like their formula. Some of them can be hit and miss, but the hits are fabulous. Do you know what I mean? They're just, for the price, they're fantastic. I'm trying to think what else I have. Like, I have quite a few Colourpop palettes now, and I can't say that I love Colourpop. It wouldn't be up there for me. When you compare it to BH Cosmetics, that would be a similar price. I would choose BH Cosmetics. So yeah, but I can't put my hand in my heart at the moment and say, I love this, I want everything belonging to them. And I'd like to get to there. I'd like to get to that point where I go, this is my favourite of this, this and this, and that's what I'm looking at. But then again, I love trying new things, so there's that too. Jennifer Boblet Johnson asked makeup techniques that have improved or changed since starting YouTube. And I thought this was a good one because I've definitely got more adventurous. I've definitely got better at, you know, well, I think I have compared to when I started out. Even my husband says it, that my makeup looks have definitely got more vibrant and more cohesive. Do you know, I spend a lot of time blending now that I wouldn't have spent before. But you see, I think that's as well because I have the time to. Like if I was getting ready for work in the morning, if I was back working, I certainly wouldn't be doing looks like this because I wouldn't have the time to. Whereas I do love that I have the time to play on YouTube. I'm doing YouTube videos. That's part of my favourite thing of doing it, is that every day I get to sit down and really play and do something I wouldn't normally do. I want to put something underneath the eye a little bit. I think I'll go back into that, or maybe I'll go for Tahiti, this kind of pinky purple here. So I would say that, and I've definitely, what I've learned a lot about is how to multi-use products. So, you know, things I'd never dreamt of doing, like using a lipstick as a blush, and, you know, just finding alternate ways to use your products and get the most out of them. I've really learnt more from this YouTube journey that I'm on. God, I used the J word. And I think that's because, again, I have the time to sit down and play with my makeup, which I wouldn't have had time to do before. Or not even time, but the inclination. I'd be kind of like, sure, why would I be sitting down and putting a full face of makeup on? I'm not going anywhere, I'm not doing anything. Whereas now I know I'm going to be recording a video, so I can go and play. I can play, full stop, I suppose, which is lovely. I'm not a very artistic person. I've never been very artistic. My sisters are. My sisters are both, you know, they were fantastic artists. They both did art in school. They're just, I don't know, they just seem to be quite arty, I suppose, in comparison to me. But this is my kind of art, I suppose. Like, I know I'm no major, you know, shakes at it or that, but I enjoy it and it's fun, and I don't know, I just really, really enjoy it. Lads, I'm really rambling now, and I do apologise. You're probably going, is she finished yet? Or there's nobody watching, you're all gone, because you're like, geez, that one isn't shutting up at all, she's still go. But I think now we are done with this look. I feel like if I keep at it now, it's going to get messy. Nobody wants that, because I've had fun with it now. I really like that, actually. Nice. I found doing the 50 Shades of Purple this year is kind of, I don't know, I haven't enjoyed purples as much because I was forced to use them, if that makes sense. I'm just going into the white shade up here in my kind of focus palette for the year. Just to put a tiny bit up in the top of here, just to clean things up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go off and put on some mascaras and that, and then we will wrap things up. Okay. And that is it. That is the look completed. I'll give you a little close-up of it. It's a nice purpley, fun look. Could do it a bit of tidying up with it, but it's great. It'll do. It'll be fine. That is it. Thank you so much to Kim for collaborating with me. There we go, that's better. Not struggling with that word. These are great videos, they're great fun. It's kind of the only video that I do that's kind of like a get ready with me style. We've decided to do these every second month, just with the number of projects that we're doing, but also we've a collab coming up next month. That's kind of been in the works since before Christmas, and when you see it you'll understand. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, me rambling on, answering your questions. Please, please, please ask more questions if you're interested. If you're sick to the back teeth, not me talking about shite, That's fine too. But yeah, I enjoy doing this. It's fun to kind of answer your questions and stuff like that. I feel like I'm sitting down having a chat with you kind of, which is lovely. I love that. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Slán.